blue eyes, and his eyes were kind of crossed. And he'd look at you with his little crossed eyes, and he was just really cute. And the girl kitties loved Ralphie with his crossed eyes. And Randy's Randy. And there were two, not as an adjective, Randy. There were two other kittens who were born in that litter, and I think it was Lone Ranger and Kimosabi, I think were their names, but I'm not sure because another cat named Pink at the farm also had a litter at around that same time when Sophia had these guys. And so I remember that Randy and Ralphie were Sophia's babies, but I can't remember for sure who the other two were, and it doesn't really matter. Randy here was born quote unquote normal. You know, he didn't have any limitations or anything. But a few years back, now this is going to get sad. And so if you don't want to hear the sad part, you might want to stop watching now. But, you know, Randy is the grandson of the baby I took out there, and now Randy's here with me. And the reason is, several years ago, Randy was attacked by something. And his throat, see, this is where it's getting bad, guys, warning you. His throat was laid open, really, and it was in the evening, so they couldn't get him to the vet. It was horrible. His entire throat was laid open. He had other injuries as well. And they thought he should be put down, but there were no vets that they could contact that late. And so they were sure. You know, they hated to do it. They tried to make him as comfortable as possible and let him go thinking that he would pass away overnight. He didn't. And he survived, and he just kept surviving. And the wound would mostly heal, and then it would be opened back up, possibly by him, as it started itching during the healing process. And this went on for the longest time, and, you know, they would put medication on it and things like that to make sure it didn't get infected and things. And, you know, they also give rabies vaccinations to, you know, the tame, I keep saying, you know, to the tame cats. You know, the feral ones, they have a hard time catching. So if they can catch them, they often vaccinate them as well. But they take really good care of their cats. And they were, you know, treating the wound and trying to help him recover. And it just took forever for that to happen. Eventually it did, however. You know, his wounds all healed. But Randy, after this, was left with problems. He can't see very well at all. He has a lot of difficulty seeing. And he has some neurological problems. His head will bob, and he'll get weak sometimes, and he'll stagger. And I know that those can be seen as symptoms of rabies. However, he's been this way for several years, and rabies generally kills a cat within a couple months. So it's not rabies. He's not rabid. And I don't know if he was vaccinated against rabies or not, but I know he doesn't have it. And he just has problems. He has special needs. He's not real strong. He's not really all that coordinated, and he can't see all that well. And we're now into winter. It's December in western Pennsylvania. We get snow, we get cold. After he healed and he was left the way he was from what had happened to him, he took himself and moved into the bed of a broken down pickup truck on the farm. They were going to get the truck fixed. It hadn't been broken down all that long, and they were going to get it fixed, but he moved into the bed of it. So they thought, it's old and beat up, and, you know, he lives there now. And so they made a point of always taking food to him because he was safer in the bed of the truck. Dogs, coyotes, things like that couldn't get to him in the bed of the truck, and he didn't have to run from predators, and other animals that maybe would seek to hurt him wouldn't even necessarily know he was in the bed of the truck. Now, he could get out of it, and he did leave it to go to the bathroom and things, but Basically, he lived in the bed of this truck, and they started feeding him there. The rest of the cat colony came to recognize that after they ate their food that was given to them down at the house, there would be more food up at the truck right after. And they would swarm the truck when food was about to be put there. So Jennifer and her family started putting an awful lot of food in the bed of the truck to make sure there was enough for Randy and the other cats, which there was. Nevertheless, the other cats weren't really letting him eat this year. And usually when you went to feed them, as you're getting the food out, Randy's little head is peering over the top of the bed of the truck, and his head at the time, aw. Yeah, we're helping you, huh? His little head was bobbling at the time, and as you can see, it doesn't now, but his head was really wobbly, and he'd look, and he'd be trying to look at you, and you'd see his little eyes going like this, and not really focusing. And it was sad, yeah, but you would only see him from the shoulders up. And his big head still looked like a big head. We didn't realize it, neither Jennifer nor I, because the pickup truck was right along the driveway, so as I went to her house, I would often throw food in there for the cats as well. I would just stop my car, put some food, put some food over into the bed of the truck for the cats and things like that. And all you'd see of Randy was from his shoulders through his head, and he looked fine. Randy with his problems, but fine weight-wise. Turns out, though, the other cats were not letting him get enough food, and he was emaciated. None of us realized, and it wasn't until I got him here at my house and he was all relaxed and, I was checking him over and things like that. It wasn't until then that I realized that he was just bone skinny. And this was only a couple of weeks ago. And, so what was I going to say? Oh, so he's eating like a horse and he's getting big and chubby. Not chubby, but he will be chubby. He's putting on weight like crazy, so that's good. And as he's eating, his neurological problems aren't as severe. Now that he's getting a lot of food and things, he's not as shaky or as wobbly. But what happened was, unbeknownst to us, they weren't really letting him eat. But what we did know was that he was weak. Not real strong, not real coordinated, couldn't see well. This has been Randy for several years. And there's an animal there at the farm that's been going after the cats. So to be all right, you have to be able to get away from him. And the other cats had taken to hanging out on the porch roof, and he wanted to join them. So he was going onto the porch roof. Well, that's not good for him to be leaving the bed of the truck when he has to protect himself, and he's not really equipped to do so, to keep himself safe. And he's not really, being he's uncoordinated and can't see well, jumping onto roofs and from trees to roofs and things like that. Not something he can really do all that well. And I was concerned, and so were they, that, we were all worried that this year, like I said, he's 4 or 5 years old. None of us worried before, so we must have all been picking up on something that was different. None of us thought he would survive the winter this year if he were left outdoors. So Jennifer has always told me if I ever wanted to take home any of the farm cats, to just let her know. And she was thinking Randy wouldn't make it if he were an outdoor cat, and that he would do a lot better as a house cat and things like that. But she's really considerate, and she knew that, I had the 2 girls who got along really well and things like that. She knew that I was always welcome to take home cats, and that I knew that I was welcome to take them home. So she didn't ask me if I would. I think probably because she just wanted to be considerate of me. So I did. I said, we were talking about his problems, and I said, I don't think he's going to make the winter if he's left outside. And she said, well, neither do I. And so I asked, do you mind if I take him home? She said, absolutely not. He'd make a wonderful house cat. And he does. so sweet and so loving. And, you know, he's sleeping right now. I wish I'd quit saying I know during this video. I don't think I usually do that like this, but I'm paying attention to you and him, and peripherally I'm paying attention to everything else going on. I can see the ducks over there. They're going like this. But he, yeah, you do ducks. But he's a lover, and he's cuddly, and he's sweet, and he never doesn't want human attention. He doesn't like other cats, though, obviously, and with good reason. So he's coming to realize, I think, that Chloe means him no ill will. But Gracie actually does, and part of the reason is just jealousy, because she wants all my attention. And part of it is just Gracie's Gracie, so she is going to attack other cats. And Randy is afraid of other cats anyway, and Gracie has gone after him a few times, so I have to keep them separated. But I did bring him home, noticed how skinny he was, we found his problems, I got the ticks off him, and we're now treating him. We're going to treat him here today, give him some medicine for his worms, and because he does have the roundworms, and I have seen them in stool, and taking care. He has a flea problem as well. Like I said, this is to be expected when a cat's been an outdoor cat. So we're going to get him all taken care of, and he'll be great. And I just wanted to let you guys know his story. So in a way, he's kind of, if the cat that I took out there that we think of as his grandpa was kind of my baby, that kind of makes me his great grandma, and now his mom, and Jennifer's his sister, and you know, we have a lot of interrelations here with him, and I've known him since he was a baby, and I love him. And he's a lover, and he headbutts me in the mornings. He comes over, and I put my head down like this, and he comes over, pushes his head really hard against my head. And if you're allergic to cats, rubbing your face in them's a bad idea. But yeah, so he's a new part of our household. Hopefully at some point Gracie will settle down where he's concerned, and hopefully he'll settle down where she's concerned. I think he's probably more of the problem with the animosity now that she is, because she's attacked him a couple times, and having been through what he's been through with other cats, he's on guard with her. So I think it's gone in this little bit of time to where it's probably going to be a permanent thing, but hopefully they'll work out a system where they can coexist without going after one another. In the meantime, I keep them separated, and in fact, I have a barrier of stuff on this end of the table so that I can film him with you without her interjecting herself in ways that would be really unpleasant. So that's it for our story for Randy. He's my new little baby. He's giant. Look at him. He's so big. You're just so big. And, itchy face. He's cuddly, and he's snuggly, and I'm going to make him a really large pen. Before you get upset about that, he doesn't like walking around a whole lot because he doesn't feel very secure, and so he usually just stays in one spot for the most part, unless he has to go to the bathroom. But if I make him a really big pen with walkways and ramps and things like that, and have, say, maybe bold contrasting colors, so that he can really, even with his poor eyesight, see what's going on, maybe that'll make him more comfortable, and that'll keep him separated from Gracie. And I'll have a door that's right at my height, right by where I sit most often, so that I can open that and just be petting him the whole time, because he really does love it. And while he does have problems, he's got the problems that I mentioned, please don't think that he should be put down, because he actually is. There are things he really enjoys. He loves eating, and he loves being petted, and he talks to me, he meows, and he purrs, and he smiles, and So, you know, he does have positive things in his life, things that he likes and enjoys. It's not that he has no quality of life, he just has some problems that he needs help with and that make him not a good outdoor cat, but he's a great indoor cat. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of him in the future like you do with the girls. And that's all we have to say, huh? Do you want to say goodbye to the people, Randy? Do you want to say goodbye to our friends? Okay, so we're gonna go, and I'm gonna let Randy get some rest, or I'll give him a sweet treat or something. What do you think? Give you a treat to thank you for being such a good boy for our friends? Is that what you think is nice? And we'll see you the next time here at Home with Melissa. In the meantime, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy your pets if you have any. Enjoy whatever it is you like doing. And I'll look forward to seeing you here hopefully very soon. Thanks again for joining us. I appreciate you spending the time here at our house. Until next time, bye-bye.